Number 10. Socotra Island, Yemen. Socotra or Sakatri is an island of Yemen in the Indian Ocean, lying between the Guadalfeu Channel and the Arabian Sea and near major shipping routes. Socotra is the largest of the 4 islands in the Socotra archipelago. Since 2013, the archipelago has constituted the Socotra Governorate. The island of Socotra represents around 95% of the landmass of the Socotra archipelago. It lies 380 kilometers south of the Arabian Peninsula and 240 kilometers east of Somalia. Despite being controlled by Yemen, it is geographically part of Africa. The island is isolated and home to a high number of endemic species. Up to a third of its plant life is endemic. It has been described as the most alien-looking place on Earth. The island measures 132 kilometers in length and 42 kilometers across at its widest. In 2008, Socotra was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Currently, the island is under the de facto control of the UAE-backed Pro-PLC, Southern Transitional Council, a secessionist faction in Yemen's ongoing civil war. Number 9. Badab-e Sirte, Iran. Badab Sirte is a natural site in Mazandaran province in northern Iran. It comprises a range of steppe travertine terrace formations that have been created over thousands of years as flowing water from 2 mineral hot springs cooled and deposited carbonate minerals on the mountainside. Badab is a Persian compound of bad gas plus ab water, translating to gassed water, referring to the spring's waters being carbonated mineral waters. Sirte is an old name for the Orist village and a Persian word meaning intensity. Badab Sirte's springs are 2 distinct mineral springs with different natural characteristics, located at 1,840 meters above sea level. The first spring contains very salty water that gathers in a small natural pool. Its water is considered to have medicinal properties, especially as a cure for rheumatism and some types of skin diseases and skin conditions. The second spring has a sour taste and is predominantly orange mainly due to the large iron oxide sediments at its outlet. Badab Sirte's terraces are made of travertine, a sedimentary rock deposited by flowing water from the 2 distinct mineral springs. When the water, supersaturated with calcium carbonate and iron carbonate, reaches the surface, carbon dioxide degases from it, and mineral carbonates are deposited. The depositing continues until the carbon dioxide in the water balances the carbon dioxide in the air. Iron carbonate and calcium carbonate are deposited by the water as soft jellies, but they eventually harden into travertine. As a result, over the course of thousands of years the water from these 2 springs emanating from the mountain range have combined and resulted in a number of orange, red and yellow colored pools shaped as a naturally formed staircase. Number 8. Fly Giza, USA. Fly Giza, also known as Fly Ranch Giza, is a small geothermal geyser located on private land in Washoe County in Nevada, about 20 miles north of Gerlach. Fly Giza is located near the edge of Fly Reservoir in the Hualape geothermal flats and is approximately 5 feet high by 12 feet wide, counting the mound on which it sits. In June 2016, the non-profit Burning Man Project purchased the 3,800 acres Fly Ranch, including the geyser, for $6.5 million. The Burning Man Project began offering limited public access to the property in May 2018. The geyser contains thermophilic algae, which flourish in moist, hot environments, resulting in multiple hues of green and red, coloring the rocks. The first geyser at the site was formed in 1916 when a well was drilled seeking irrigation water. When geothermal water at close to boiling point was found, the well was abandoned, and a 10-12-foot calcium carbonate cone formed. In 1964, A geothermal energy company drilled a second well near the site of the first well. The water was not hot enough for energy purposes. They reportedly capped the well, but the seal failed. The discharge from the second well released sufficient pressure that the original geyser dried up. Dissolved minerals in the water, including calcium carbonate and silica, accumulated around the new geyser, creating the cones and travertine pools. The geyser has multiple conic openings sitting on a mound. The cones are about 6 feet, and the entire mound is 25 to 30 feet tall. Number 7. Red Beach, China. Red Beach, located in Doa County, Panjin, Liaoning, China, is famous for its landscape featuring the red plant of Sweda salsa of the family Chenopodiaceae. It is based in the biggest wetland and reed marsh in the world. The landscape is composed of shallow seas and tide lands. The Suda is one of the few species of plant that can live in highly alkaline soil. Its growth cycle starts in April when it is colored light red, while the color of the mature species is deep red. The largest reed marsh in Asia is also located here, attracting many tourists. The reeds are used to make paper. The red-crowned crane also reproduces here, and it is also the endangered black-mouthed gull's largest breeding area. Number 6. Pamukkale, Turkey. Pamukkale, meaning cotton castle in Turkish, is a natural site in Denizli province in southwestern Turkey. The area is famous for a carbonate mineral left by the flowing of thermal spring water. It is located in Turkey's inner Aegean region, in the river Menderes Valley, which has a temperate climate for most of the year. The ancient Greek city of Hierapolis was built on top of the Travertine Formation, which is in total about 2,700 meters long, 600 meters wide and 160 meters high. It can be seen from the hills on the opposite side of the valley in the town of Denizli, 20 kilometers away. This area has been drawing visitors to its thermal springs since the time of classical antiquity. The Turkish name refers to the surface of the shimmering, snow-white limestone, shaped over millennia by calcite-rich springs. Dripping slowly down the mountainside, mineral-rich waters collect in and cascade down the mineral terraces, into pools below. It was added as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1988 along with Hierapolis. Pamukkale's terraces are made of travertine, a sedimentary rock deposited by mineral water from the hot springs. In this area, there are 17 hot springs with temperatures ranging from 35 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius. Pamukkale is recognized as a World Heritage Site together with Hierapolis. Hierapolis Pamukkale was made a World Heritage Site in 1988. It is a tourist attraction because of this status and its natural beauty. Number 5. Chocolate Hills, Philippines. The Chocolate Hills are a geological formation in the Bohol province of the Philippines. There are at least 1,260 hills, but there may be as many as 1,776 hills spread over an area of more than 50 square kilometers. They are covered in green grass that turns into a chocolate-like brown during the dry season, hence the name. They are featured in the provincial flag and seal to symbolize the abundance of natural attractions in the province. They are in the Philippine Tourism Authority's list of tourist destinations in the Philippines. They have been declared the country's third national geological monument and proposed for inclusion in the UNESCO World Heritage List. The Chocolate Hills form a rolling terrain of haycock-shaped hills, mounds of a generally conical and almost symmetrical shape. With an estimated 1,268 to 1,776 individual mounds, these cone-shaped or dome-shaped hills are actually made of grass-covered limestone. The domes vary in size from 30 to 50 meters high, with the largest being 120 meters in height. One of Bohul's best-known tourist attractions, these unique mound-shaped hills are scattered by the hundreds throughout the towns of Carmen, Bachuan and Sagbayan. Number 4. Xianzi Mountain, China. Xianzi Mountain is a mountain in Zhangjiajie in the Hunan province of China, close to the Suoxi Valley in south-central China. Before the Ming Dynasty, Xianzi Mountain was known as Qingyan Mountain because of its green stones. The mountain is named after the early Ming Dynasty farmer Xiang Dakan of the Tujia ethnic group, who led a successful local farmers' revolt and called himself Xiang Wang Xianzi, meaning son of heaven, and which is the traditional epithet of the Chinese emperor. The highest pillar of Xianzi Mountain is Kunlun Peak with an elevation of 1,262.5 meters, and the lowest pillar is Shilanyu with an elevation of 534 meters. Xianzi Mountain is a part of the Wulingyuan Scenic Area and was added to the UNESCO World Heritage List in 1992. Before the Ming Dynasty, Xianzi Mountain was named Qingyan Mountain together with Zhangjiajie. According to a legend of the Tujia people, Xiang Dakan, who was dissatisfied with the government at that time, went to Qingyan Mountain in 1353. With the help of Li Boru he rebelled and established a regime and assumed the title of Xiang Wang Xianzi. As Xiang represented the interests of all ethnic groups, mainly the Tujia, he was supported by the local people, and established a fortress with Xianzi Mountain as its axis. In 1385, Xiang's regime was fiercely besieged by more than 10,000 elite soldiers commanded by Hongwu Emperor. Outnumbered and defeated, Xiang Dakan died in the battle and fell into the Shentang Gulf. Since then, the local people have named the places where he fought and lived as Xianzi in his memory. The Qing dynasty used various repressive measures to forcibly abolish the word Xianzi, but the Tujia people have always called it Xianzi Mountain. Number 3. Lake Hillier, Western Australia. Lake Hillier is a saline lake on the edge of Middle Island, the largest of the islands and islets that make up the Richurk archipelago in the Goldfields Esperance region, off the south coast of Western Australia. It is particularly notable for its pink color. A long and thin shore divides the Southern Ocean, by some definitions the Indian Ocean, from the lake. Lake Hillier is about 600 meters in length by about 250 meters in width. The lake is surrounded by a rim of sand and a dense woodland of papabark and eucalyptus trees, with a narrow strip of sand dunes covered by vegetation separating its northern edge from the northern coast of Middle Island. The most notable feature of the lake is its pink vibrant color. The vibrant color is permanent and does not alter when the water is taken in a container. The pink color is believed to be due to the presence of the organism Dunaliella salina. The only living organisms in Lake Hillier are microorganisms including Dunaliella salina, the red algae which cause the salt content in the lake to create a red dye which helps produce the color, as well as red halophilic bacteria, Bacteria ruberin, present in the salt crusts. Despite the unusual hue, the lake exhibits no known adverse effects upon humans. From above, the lake appears a solid bubble gum pink, but from the shoreline it appears more of a clear pink hue. The shoreline is also covered in salt crust deposits. Number 2. The Giant's Causeway, Northern Ireland. The Giant's Causeway is an area of about 40,000 interlocking basalt columns, the result of an ancient volcanic fissure eruption. It is located in County Antrim on the north coast of Northern Ireland, 4.8 kilometers northeast of the town of Bushmills. It was declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1986 and a National Nature Reserve by the Department of the Environment for Northern Ireland in 1987. In a 2005 poll of Radio Times readers, the Giant's Causeway was named the fourth greatest natural wonder in the United Kingdom. The tops of the columns form stepping stones that lead from the cliff foot and disappear under the sea. Most of the columns are hexagonal, although some have 4, 5, 7 or 8 sides. The tallest are about 12 meters high, and the solidified lava in the cliffs is 28 meters thick in places. Much of the Giant's Causeway and Causeway Coast World Heritage Site is owned and managed by the National Trust. It is one of the most popular tourist attractions in Northern Ireland, receiving over 998,000 visitors in 2019. Access to the Giant's Causeway is free of charge, as it is not necessary to go via the visitor centre, which charges a fee. The remainder of the site is owned by the Crown Estate and several private landowners. And number 1. Spotted Lake, British Columbia, Canada. Spotted Lake, also known as Lake Killock, is a saline endorheic alkali lake located northwest of Osoyoos in the eastern Similkameen Valley of British Columbia, Canada, accessed via Highway 3. Spotted Lake is richly concentrated with various minerals. It contains dense deposits of magnesium sulfate, calcium and sodium sulfates. It also contains high concentrations of 8 other minerals and lower amounts of silver and titanium. Most of the water in the lake evaporates over the summer, revealing colorful mineral deposits. Large spots on the lake appear and are colored according to the mineral composition and seasonal amount of precipitation. Magnesium sulfate, which crystallizes in the summer, is a major contributor to spot color. In the summer, remaining minerals in the lake harden to form natural walkways around and between the spots. Spotted Lake was for centuries and still remains revered as a sacred site thought to provide therapeutic waters. During World War I, the minerals of Spotted Lake were used in manufacturing ammunition. Today there is a roadside sign telling visitors that the lake is a cultural and sensitive area and a traditional medicine lake for the Okanagan Syilx people. The lake can be viewed from the fence that has been erected for protection from the liabilities of public access.